Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Father God, we thank you for giving us the breath of life to see this holy Sabbath day. We ask that we may learn something beneficial through your word, and that we may be good boys and girls. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Okay, we start with Jesus Wants Me for a Sunbeam. Jesus wants me for a sunbeam to shine for him each day. In every way try to please him, at home, at school, at play. A sunbeam, Jesus wants me for a sunbeam, a sunbeam, a sunbeam. I'll be a sunbeam for him. Okay, our next song will be I'm HAPPY, so happy I can fly. I'm HAPPY, so happy I can fly. Fly away to heaven beyond the starry sky. My name is in the book, you'll find it if you love. Fly away to heaven by and by, we'll see the King. By and by, we'll see the King. By and by, we'll see the King. And crown him Lord of all. 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 And crown him Lord of all through the night, all through the night. The Savior has been watching over me. All through the night, all through the night. The Savior has been watching over me. He saved me so sweetly, so neatly and completely, and washes in his own atoning blood. My sins are all forgiven. I'm on my way to heaven, walking in the smile of God. So loved the world, he gave his only Son to die on Calvary. From sin to set me free. Someday he's coming back. What glory that could be! Wonderful is love to me. We'll continue with hymn number 92. This is my Father's will. This is my Father's will, and to my listening ears, all nature sings and only rings the music of the spheres. This is my Father's
song will be hymn number 469, What a Fellowship, What a Joy Divine. What a fellowship, what a joy divine, leaning on his arms. What a blessedness, what a peace is mine, leaning on his arms. I'm learning how to lean and depend on Jesus. I'm learning how to lean every day. Don't be ashamed to say that you know him. 'Cause I found out that if I trust in him, he will provide. Oh, how sweet to walk in this pilgrim way, leaning on his hands. Oh, how bright the path grows from day to day, leaning on his hands. I'm learning how to lean and depend on Jesus. I'm learning how to lean every day. Don't be ashamed to say that you know him. 'Cause I found out that if I trust in him, he will provide. What a fight to tread, what a fight to tread, leaning on his arms. I have blessed peace with my Lord so near, leaning on his arms. I'm learning how to lean and depend on Jesus. I'm learning how to lean every day. Don't be ashamed to say that you know him. 'Cause I found out if I trust in him, he will provide. 'Cause I found out that if I trust in him, he will provide.
Jesus reads in church. What is your favorite thing about Sabbath school and church? Do you like the songs or the stories? Do you like to be with your friends? Jesus liked to go to church on Sabbath too. The memory verse is, let us go to the house of the Lord. This is taken from Psalms chapter 122 verse 1. When Jesus was a little boy, he probably helped his father Joseph in the carpenter shop. He was busy, but when Sabbath came, Jesus did not work. After work on Friday and before sunset, he put everything away. The shop was nice and neat. Jesus went to church with his family and his friends on Sabbath. At church, people listened to stories read from the Bible scrolls. They would talk about the stories. They would pray together. Jesus loved to go to his church in Nazareth. When Jesus grew up, he left Nazareth. It was time for him to go to help people in other towns. Wherever he went, he would go to church and teach the people more about God's love. After Jesus had been away for a while, he went back to visit his family and his friends in Nazareth. It was so good to see everyone. The people of Nazareth had been hearing stories about him. They knew that Jesus had made some people well. They knew he had helped many people. Soon it was Sabbath. Jesus was happy to worship God in Nazareth again. The people were happy to see him. They asked him to read from the Bible scrolls. Jesus was happy to read. They liked to help in church. A helper in the church probably picked out a Bible scroll for Jesus to read. It was from the part of the Bible called Isaiah. Jesus took the Bible scroll in his hands and began to read. When Jesus stopped reading, he talked about the words he had just read. We like to go to church on Sabbath. We like to worship God with our family and friends too. We sing songs to tell God, I love you. We read from his Bible book and talk about the stories. We pray. We like to worship God just as Jesus did. Sabbath really is a happy day. When you go to church and Sabbath school, on Sabbath you are telling Jesus that you love him.
Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to this week's primary lesson study. First place. Our memory verse for this week says, 3 times a day he got down on his knees and prayed, giving thanks to his God. Daniel 6:10. Now Daniel is faithful to God in all his work and in his worship. 3 times a day he kneels by an open window that faces Jerusalem and prays to God. Because of jealousy, some of Daniel's co-workers plot against him and look for a way to get rid of him. They persuade King Darius to make a decree that everyone must worship only the king. But Daniel puts God first and continues to kneel and pray 3 times a day as always. Now this lesson is about worship. Daniel puts God first. He continues to worship God no matter what happened in one way or another. We will all face similar circumstances and would have to make similar decisions about our worship today. May God help us to always put him first.
Hello, boys and girls. This is Aunt Fernita. Today's lesson is called First Place. The message is I worship God when I give him first place in my life. Today's memory verse is from Daniel chapter 6, verse 10. It says, 3 times a day he got down on his knees and prayed, giving thanks to his God. What choices did you make this morning? Did you decide what to wear or what to eat? What about the choices regarding how you spoke to your parents or brothers and sisters? What other choices did you make? Each day is filled with choices. Each day we decide in many different ways whether to put God first. When we worship God, we're really saying, Lord, I love you. There are many different ways to do that. Daniel knew how to worship God. He knew that he wanted to put God first every minute of every day. It was like clockwork, morning, noon, and night. Daniel opened his upstairs window. He turned toward Jerusalem. Then he knelt and prayed. It didn't matter who saw him. It didn't matter if there were other things that needed to be done. Daniel always prayed at those times. and often in between. Always. God was his very best friend. Daniel made sure that his time with God was the most important time of the day. People who liked Daniel knew about his special prayer time. People who didn't like him knew about his special prayer time too. When King Darius became ruler of Babylon, he decided to have some men be in charge of small parts of it. So he appointed 120 governors. Then he put 3 presidents over those governors. Daniel was one of those presidents. Before long, King Darius even planned to put Daniel in charge of the other presidents because he did his work so well. This plan made the other 2 presidents and the governors jealous. Very jealous. So jealous, in fact, that they searched for something, anything, to complain to the king about Daniel. "I can't believe this man," one of the governors complained. "He's loyal, he's faithful, he's honest. There's nothing we can complain about. I can't stand him. Look, there he is at his prayer time, right now," grumbled another. "Ah, my friends, that may be just what we're looking for. I think I have a plan." The third governor quickly described his plot to the others. The rulers hurried to speak to King Darius. "O great and powerful king," they began, "we have a plan to honor you. We want to make a new law. A law that says no one may pray to anyone but you for the next 30 days. The king liked the sound of that. He thought an important king such as himself should be worshipped. He thought about it for a moment and then asked, "What if someone doesn't keep this law?" His advisors pretended to think, though they already knew the treatment they wanted for Daniel. "How about throwing them to the lions?" The king was surprised, but finally decided to agree to the plan. So the law was passed, and of course Daniel knew about it. He also understood the reason those men had asked for the law. But no law made by man could change Daniel's love for God. No law could change his habit of worshiping him. He continued to pray 3 times a day. How about you? Really worshiping God means putting God first in your life. Daniel was determined to keep worshiping God no matter what happened. Will you choose to worship God by giving him first place in everything today? Will you decide that nothing will keep you from worshiping God?
This podcast is read by Franita Buddy for Gracelink.net. Created and produced by Falvo Fowler. Post-produced by Faith Toe at Studio El Piso. The theme music is by Clayton Kinney. Animation and artwork by Giogo Godoy. The audio engineer was Karel Holness. For more information, please visit Gracelink.net.
Oh, welcome, boys and girls, to another junior lesson study. Our title for this lesson is Too Good Not to Share. But before we go into the lesson, we're going to start with an activity. So we have with us a volunteer. Who do we have with us?
Javon.
Javon. So Javon is going to engage in a little activity. You notice Javon, he is standing against the wall and his heels are against the wall. So there's a coin on the floor. I don't think we can see it, but it's right there. So he's going to bend without bending his knees, and he's going to go over, he's going to pick up that coin. So let's see how you do it. Whoa. Whoa. So what do you think? What do you think made this activity exercise a little difficult for you to pick up that coin, Shadette?
I couldn't bend my knees to get the coin, and I was tripping over.
Okay, so what we're going to do, we're going to do it again. But this time we are going to invite another volunteer. But I think you know this volunteer. Who is this volunteer who is coming in now?
My sister Janelle.
Okay, go ahead, Janelle. So she's going to head. Let's go again. So we're going to start again. Go ahead. Oh, wow. What made this activity, what made it much more easier, or what made it possible?
When I bent down, my sister came and helped me pick it up.
Great, great. Thank you so much. Boys and girls, did you enjoy that activity? But did you realize that Jadel needed his sister to assist him? So today, we are going into our lesson. It's about a group of people who didn't get it because they didn't want to. Guess what? They were prejudiced and wanted to stay that way. But Paul and Barnabas learned that following Jesus means serving others in spite of obstacles like prejudice. They said, with the help of our God, we dare to tell you about his gospel in the face of strong opposition. And you will find that in the book of 1 Thessalonians 2, verse 2. According to this verse, who helped them keep their balance and accomplish their task? Oh yes, God. And just like the activity, we have seen that Jadel's sister helped him keep his balance by assisting by picking up that coin. How can you follow Jesus and serve others in spite of prejudice they may have towards you? People may not like you because maybe the color of your skin, maybe your hair texture. What about maybe the family you were born in? Have you ever felt embarrassed or frightened because you were a Christian? A story, so we're going to go into the story in Paul's missionary journey. It helps us to explain how the followers of Jesus dealt with challenges. Two weary-looking men trod towards Iconium as the sun was setting. We had to shake off the dust off of our feet as we came to the last city, said one of the travelers, smiling. But it looks like my feet are all dusty again. He looked at his companion, hoping that a little humor will bring a smile. Their trek east over the mountains from Antioch had been a tiring one. Paul looked up as if he had just now realized he wasn't alone. Paul was often like that, so intense he almost lost contact with the people around him. But the believers we did live in Antioch were so full of joy. I would go through all the hassle again just to see the looks on the faces of those who believed what we told them about the Messiah. Do you remember their joy when they realized that through Jesus, God could be right with them all the time? Barnabas nodded in agreement. Well, we are almost to Iconium, said Barnabas, looking around as they headed through the small merchant stalls on the outskirts of the town. Let's ask for direction to the Jewish synagogue. They had agreed that they would begin their work in this Greek tongue exactly the same way they had in the larger Roman colony of Antioch. they would preach first at the synagogue, where Jews and even Gentiles were looking for the coming of the Messiah. The synagogue worshippers were pleased to have visitors who had come from Jerusalem with messages to share. Occasionally, visitors came from Jerusalem with news for the Jewish communities spread throughout these Greek hills. Often, they came only to collect the tithes and the offerings to be taken back to Jerusalem. Any such visitors were always welcome, boys and girls, and so were Paul and Barnabas. The first Sabbath that they were there, they began sharing their good news about the Messiah. What good news do you have about the Messiah? You're back out to school and you're safe? That's good news. Your mummies and daddies have provided books for you and pencils. That's good news. You had 3 square meals. That's good news, and you need to share the good news. For a time, all went well. Paul preached in the synagogue several times a week. Paul and Barnabas visited Jews and Gentiles in their homes and at all their places of business. Wherever people were interested in hearing about Jesus, Paul and Barnabas shared. Mummies and daddies, are you sharing the good news of Jesus in your work environment? Are you sharing it with family members who don't know about Jesus? But not everyone at that synagogue, nor everyone in every home or every business felt the same about their message. As when friends and families disagree about something important, the Jews began to argue with one another concerning Paul and Barnabas. Many of the Jewish leaders did not believe that this wonderful message about the Messiah was true. Some of them were jealous that so many people were listening to Paul and accepting the good news. Oh yes, the good news. They were especially furious when God blessed the work of Paul and Barnabas with miracles to show that He was with them. The Jewish leaders who opposed the teaching about Jesus convinced many Gentiles to reject this message as well. That's so sad. They wanted the town officials to tell Paul and Barnabas to stop sharing the message about Jesus and leave. Do you believe that, boys and girls? Then things could go back to the way they had been. The synagogue leaders could be in charge again. That's what they taught. When the town authorities questioned Paul and Barnabas or any of their followers, they found that their answers were clear and sensible. It's the good news. They couldn't press any charges. So many of the new believers were becoming good and orderly citizens. That's what the gospel does. It converts minds and characters. How could the authorities deny that? In fact, the more jealous people tried to point out what was wrong with the new message, the more people believed in it. Finally, the Jewish leaders were so jealous and angry that they decided to do something about the situation themselves. They got an ignorant, noisy mob who didn't really understand what was going on, and created, guess what? A huge riot. They hoped it would end in the death of Paul and Barnabas. They hoped Paul and Barnabas would not have another chance to defend themselves before the authorities. Friends of the two messengers found out about the plot. They hurried to tell Paul and Barnabas. "Don't run the risk of getting hurt by this mob," they warned. "The message you have to share about the Messiah is too wonderful. Leave for a while so you can come back and teach us later." Paul and Barnabas did as their friends suggested. They left before the angry mob could stone them, but they would be back. The news about Jesus was too wonderful to keep to themselves. So, boys and girls, as I close the lesson, the news about Jesus is too wonderful not to share with your friends, not to share with family members, mommies and daddies. The news about Jesus is too wonderful to keep to yourself. And as we close, we are reminded by our PowerPoint, we follow Jesus when we serve others in spite of obstacles. So let's say it again. We follow Jesus when we serve others in spite of obstacles. So stay tuned in for another spectacular junior lesson study next Sabbath.
Happy Sabbath, everyone. Our mission story for today is from South Africa. Did you know Tugela Falls is the second highest waterfall in the world? This waterfall is located in Royal Newton National Park in South Africa. Our mission story for today is entitled Faithful Grandparents. This is the story of how a family began to keep the Sabbath in South Africa without knowing about the Seventh-day Adventist Church. In the evening, after it was too dark to work in the maize field, the Renette family gathered around a large kitchen table for supper on their small farmhouse in central South Africa in the 1920s. Father, mother, and their 7 boys and 4 girls ate a meal of homegrown food every evening, a main serving of maize porridge along with some potatoes, pumpkin, and meat. After the meal, the children cleared the dishes from the table and Father opened his Dutch language Bible for family worship. The bigger children listened attentively from their wooden chairs around the table, while the smaller ones climbed onto their parents' laps. They knew that when Father finished reading the Bible, they would sing a hymn and Father would pray. On this particular evening, Father opened his Bible and read, "Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor and do all your work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it you shall do no work." Father sometimes asked the children questions to help keep them awake. But this time he had a question of his own. "Listen," he said, puzzled. "It says here, 6 days you shall labor, but on the 7th day you shall rest." The idea of resting on the 7th Sabbath day was new to him. He and the family had always observed the first day, Sunday, as a Sabbath, but the Bible said otherwise. Father made a note in the Bible. Beside the words, 6 days you shall labor, he wrote plow time. Beside the words, on the 7th day you shall rest, he wrote rest time. The matter was clear. From now on, he and the family would labor from Sunday through Friday and they would rest on the 7th Sabbath day. From that week, the family started to keep the Sabbath as they had read in the Bible. Every Saturday, they stopped plowing and did not engage in any regular work. Families on the neighboring farms took notice, and soon 3 families also were keeping the 7th Sabbath day. Time passed and an Adventist literature evangelist stopped by the farm and saw Father a book titled God's Covenant with Man. Through the book, Father and Mother learned about the Seventh-day Adventist Church for the very first time. They understood that other people also worshipped on the 7th Sabbath day. No one knows whether Father and Mother joined the Seventh-day Adventist Church, but for the 11 children became Adventists. One of their grandchildren is Gideon, a pastor who helps run mission work in the Southern African Indian Ocean Division, the division that will receive the 13th Sabbath offering this quarter.
Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome again to another craft time. This morning we want to celebrate our mothers, and we will be making award ribbons for our moms to show them how much we love and care for them. The items we would need for our craft this morning are glue or glue stick, markers. We are using construction paper or any colored regular paper, and we also have scissors, some tape, and those little black rings are small rubber bands. Let's go! Okay, boys and girls, let's begin. So we first want to take our sheet of paper and we want to measure about an inch on both sides. Now, I don't have a ruler, but if you have a ruler and you want to measure it exact, you can measure it exact, right? So we want to measure about an inch, and then you want to take your ruler or a straight edge. I am using the edge of this Bristol board paper here, and I am going to draw that line that is about 1 inch in width, and then we want to immediately cut it with our scissors. And so we're going to take our cutout, the cutout of our strip. We want to fold it in half, and then on the edge, now as I said before, if you want, and I'll just show you, you can use a pencil if you're not sure. You want to do a little triangle on the end like that, and then we want to cut it with our scissors. Alright, and then we can open, and at our fold we are going to cut once more. So now we have our 2 ribbon tails, and we will put this aside, and we're going to take the remaining parts of the paper and we are going to begin to fold on the short side. Now we want to be careful here, we don't want it too big, so we go in maybe about a 1/2 inch thick in terms of our first fold, and you want to make sure that you line up your ends properly. Alright, and this first fold is the most important fold, because if this fold is bent, then the rest of your ribbon folds will be bent. So we want to make sure that this is lined up well, and once it is lined up well, you can flip it over. And then we're going to fold it up now, using that first bend as our measurement. Right, so we're lining it up according to that first bend. We crease with our fingertips. And of course, if you need help, you can always ask your mom and dad. And guess what, guys? We are going to flip it again. And we are going to continue this until we've done it for the entire sheet of paper. So now we have all our folds. We want to take our folds now and we're going to fold it in half. Make sure the 2 top parts line up. And we want to form a crease at the end. So we now know our half mark. And if you want, you could fold it both ways. Right. So we have our half mark there. I want to take our scissors and cut.
If it's a little difficult, once again, you can ask your mom or dad to help, right? Actually ask dad because it's Mother's Day. So now we want to take our rubber band and we want to place it to the center of our folds, and we can fold it and we can turn it 3 times. Alright, so just to make sure it is at the center, we are going to actually fold it in half because we need to make sure that it is actually in the center, right, like this. And then we're going to, on one side, we're going to take some glue and stick. Once we stick it, we can leave it to dry. We want to do the same thing on the other end. Okay, so boys and girls, we have in front of us our 2 sides or 2 fans that we just stuck, and now we want to stick our 2 fans together. Now we want to look at the ends, make sure that the ends are the same. So straight edge, and then we want to stick them. Alright, and once we've done this, boys and girls, we want to put this aside and let it dry. Now, while the floral part of our ribbon is drying, we want to take our white paper. So you could probably find, like me, a cover, and this is a disinfectant spray cover, and if you measure it over your floral part of the ribbon, you could see that, you know, it covers just enough and it leaves just enough on the outside, right? Because you don't want it too small. So we want to do some circles, and you can do 3 or 4. And in our circle, we want to write something special for our mom. So I am going to put in this circle number 1, mom. I want to put in this one, best mom ever. And I want to put in the last one, super mom. If you want, you could put some hearts or anything that you want to decorate inside your circle with, right? And once that is done, we're going to take our scissors and we will cut them out. Now, boys and girls, we want to take our little centerpieces that we've made. And I want to choose best mom ever. And we're going to stick it to the center of our ribbon. So put some glue. And we just stick it to the center, just like that, and we leave it and let it dry. Now we want to flip it over, and we want to just stick up a circular piece as well, just to the back. All right. Now this white paper that I'm attaching to the back, I have taped a pin, and look at how I've done it. I've taped, there's a piece of tape that's running over a safety pin, right? And then once again, you put glue on the side, on one side, and you stick. And then of course, you leave it to dry. Boys and girls, now we want to take our time and attach our tails, our ribbon tails. So there we have it, boys and girls. It's our Mother's Day awards. So make one today and pin your mom. Give her a big hug and kiss and let her know that she's the #1 mom and the best mom ever. Bye.
Today, we will take a stroll through my kitchen garden. I started my garden a year ago, but I am really excited about my pumpkin patch. I planted these pumpkins some months ago, and now look what we've got. Same seeds but different pumpkin. Do you know pumpkin is rich in vitamin A? Vitamin A can help the body fight infections and hold a lot more other vitamins. Did you know that pumpkins are not vegetables? They are fruits because it grows on vines and they have seeds. Pumpkins can be used to make muffins and pumpkin pie. The seeds are also edible. Pumpkins are almost 90% water, so it is easy to digest. Yay for pumpkins! Today, I am going to talk to you about one of my finest pumpkins. Well, as you can see, the finest pumpkin right here. Now I'm going to cut it. Big pumpkin. This is my big pumpkin. Do you know that a pumpkin is basically a winter squash? Yes, boys and girls. As you can see, it's really heavy right now. This is my finest pumpkin, and this is basically the first time I planted pumpkin. As you can see, I have a next pumpkin, but as you can see, it's kind of dark blue. It's dark blue in color. Did you know pumpkins come in all shapes, sizes, and even color? Some are green, some are red, and some are even white. As you can see, this is my pumpkin patch. With little babies springing up. As you can see, pumpkin can spring lots of flowers. My mom is special because she is talented at understanding my feelings, usually has a smile on her face and is an excellent cook, especially when making cookies.
My mummy is special because we spend time together, going to the park, playing games, doing sports, and even hiking.
My mummy is special because we play sports together like football and basketball, and I also have fun playing with her and making bread.
What makes my mother so special? My mother takes good care of me. I thank God for my mother every day. She cooks me the best meal. Happy Mother's Day, Mommy. I love you. God our Father, hear your children as they come to you in prayer, knowing you are always with us, telling us your love and care. Bless our parents, friends, and teachers, bless all those we play with, and say Amen.
Crystal Joseph Best. She is the best mom in the world, and I love her so much. Every single night when it's my bedtime, she does tuck me in and kiss me goodnight. I also help her by cleaning and cooking. Sometimes she does exercise with me and do homework with me. And she is a kind, grateful, funny, full of excitement, and she's silly. Sometimes I ask her if we can play Scrabble or Monopoly together sometimes. She does also help me with my homework or a test that she gives me. One time was up and I don't know what was the question. I just asked her and tell her how she does help me with my homework when it's homework time. She also goes everywhere with me and she does have fun time. She's the loving, caring, and grateful, and silly, full of excitement and funny. When she smiles and does silly faces, it makes me laugh, and her smile is very beautiful. She also cooks delicious, scrumptious, and mouth-watering food. And I am very elated when I be with her.
My mom is a special person in my life. She is magnificent, outstanding, true and honorable in my life, and an extraordinary woman. I admire her a lot, and I thank God to have her as my
I love my mom because she treats me and my brother well. She helps me with my work, she fights with me, and she's strict.
My name is Destiny, and this is why my mommy is special to me, because she gives me my favorite food, mac and cheese with sausage in it, and she took me to 5 Islands on my birthday, and she takes care of me.
Hi, my name is Makai Burgess. This is how my mommy is so special to me. My mommy came to the beach 5 times. I love mommy. Happy Mother's Day.
My mom is special to me because she takes good care of me and teaches me about God.
Hi, my name is Nishan Forty.
And my mommy is special because she loves me, she takes care of me, and she teaches me about Jesus, and she feeds me and helps me with my work and homework. I love my mommy very much. She loves me and I love her.
My name is Jahim Joseph, and my mommy is special because she does take care of me, Justine and I love her very much.
My mother is special because she made me. She provides food on the table. She helps me with my homework, and she's just a special person.
My mother is special because she carries me to school, she cooks, she gets the house prepared, she cleans, she does the laundry, she helps us overall.
Makes your mommy special.
And my mommy helped me open the bathroom door. And mommy helped me bathe.
Yeah.
And mommy helped me brush my teeth.
Yeah.
And mommy helped me make breakfast for me.
Yeah.
And mommy know how to broccoli. And mommy gave me a play, go in the park. And mommy packed up a park. And mommy helped me go on the train. And mommy carried me home. And mommy carried me at Giuseppe. And my mommy,
I love my mom because she's overprotective, kind, and helpful.
My mom is special because she gives us licks. And like she don't say, she's overprotective and she does a lot of things for us and she helps us. And she does a lot for us. I love her very much.
My mommy is so special because she gives me warm hugs. She cooks my favorite meals. And she helps me with my homework. Happy Mother's Day.
My mother is special because she will put certain things aside to make sure we have our needs and our wants, even if it means her not eating for a certain amount of days or hours or taking time off work to spend with us.
what makes my mom special? My mom loves Jesus. And she loves me.
My name is Rochelle Smith. My mommy's name is Carolyn Smith. My mommy is special because she cleans my cuts when I get one. She gets me a sweet treat once in a while. My mommy is very caring. When I'm sick, she tries to make me feel well again. Mommy also prepares healthy meals for me. When I wanted a dog, she got me one. I love to help her in the kitchen and she appreciates me. I love you, Mommy. Bye, friends.
I just want to talk about how special my mom is to me. She's been with me since I was a child, and growing up, she's still here with me. She helps me get dressed, helps me get prepared for everything I have to do. She cooks, she cleans, she does a lot for me, and I'm grateful for that. She's kind, and she always helps me with projects, all things that I would have struggles with. She's always there. So thank you. Mom.
My mommy is a special mommy because when we fall, she helps us up. When we're sick, she helps us feel better. When we're hungry, she cooks us food. My mommy is a very special mommy because she's brave, she's smart, she helps us with our homework, she cooks great food. So when I grow up, I want to be just like my mom. Happy Mother's Day, Mommy. We love you.
Mother. My mother is very special and fair. She loves me and always shows that she cares. At night, she puts me to bed and makes sure that I'm always fed. She teaches me about God and the golden rule. A stern word is often used as her tool. I love her very much. She is the best. In her arms I can safely rest. So cheers!
What makes my mom special is that she cares about us, always provides support when we are in need, and supplies for the house.
I love my mom, and she is special because when I'm in tough situations and I can't seem to figure out a solution, she always helps me. She cares for me and loves me very much.
What makes my mom special to me is that she teaches me how to crack an egg. She helps me with my schoolwork and she makes me feel happy when I am sad. My mom is the best mom in the entire world.
My mom is special to me. She is my doctor. She is my prayer warrior. She is my rod of correction when I need it. She is my first teacher. She is my best friend. Even though life changes, my mom's love never changes. I love you, Mom.
My name is Alicia, and the thing that makes my mommy special is because she takes me out to Chuck E. Cheese for my birthday. She's kind and she's funny.
Grandma Gillespie, thank you for being my greatest support and always being there. As they say, there is no love in this world like a mother's love, and you have proved that repeatedly. This is to express a little love you have of what you have done. Thank you. Happy Mother's Day.
Because you love me. Kiss me. Give me hugs. And she said, love me.
Hi everybody, my name is Darius Samuels and my mother's name is Selena Samuels, and this is why my mother is so special to me. She's always so kind, so loving, so gentle, and she's always taken me to school, teaching me about Jesus, and she's always tucking me into bed. So I just want to say Happy Mother's Day to my mom and all the other moms in the world. Love you.
So my mom is very special to me because she's always there for us. She's preparing us for the future, and even though we do something wrong, she tells us off because my mom does not play, and she's a very strict mom, but I still like her as a mom. So that's why I think my mom is very special to me.
My name is Aidan. My mommy is special to me because she helps me in every way possible. She helps me physically and mentally because she helps me even through hard times when she doesn't have that much money. She always makes sure that I have everything I need, and she helps me mentally because even when she helps me to stand up for myself when I feel scared about something. My name is Xavier French, and my mommy is very special to me in every way. My mommy loves me, she helps me, she takes care of me, and she helps me with everything.